Hello, this is the January 2014 video edition of the Iowa General Fund Monthly Revenue Memo. My name is Jeff Robinson, Senior Fiscal Analyst for the Iowa Legislative Services Agency, the nonpartisan support agency of the Iowa Legislature. Net general fund revenue eked out a small gain in January when compared to January of 2013. Net revenue increased $2 million, or 0.3%. The low positive growth comes after a disappointing December reading, and net revenue for the cash fiscal year, which grew 9.1% through the first 7 months last year, has declined 1.2% this year. Part of the revenue drag this year is due to legislative changes that moved cigarette, tobacco, and gambling revenue out of the general fund. Those changes have reduced fiscal year 2014 revenue by $66.5 million so far, the equivalent of 1.8 percentage points of revenue growth. So without the legislative changes, net revenue growth for the cash fiscal year would be more like positive 0.6%. Most of the general fund revenue comes from three sources: individual income tax, sales and use tax, and corporate income tax. This table provides the July through January revenue growth for fiscal year 2013 and fiscal year 14 for those three revenue sources. Note that the numbers reflect revenue growth over the same period the previous year, and that refunds have been deducted from gross tax deposits. For the first 7 months of last fiscal year, individual income tax revenue expanded $225 million versus a decline of $24 million this fiscal year. The table also shows that sales and use tax revenue, while still growing, has slowed somewhat, and the same is true for corporate income tax. The slowdown in the growth of Iowa's largest tax revenue sources, combined with the cigarette and gambling tax deposit changes, resulted in an abrupt change in the pace of overall general fund revenue growth starting June of 2013. At the conclusion of May 2013, annual revenue growth, excluding transfer revenue, was up 9.9% compared to the previous 12 months. By the end of January 2014, annual growth is down to 2.7%. While the first 7 months of fiscal year 2014 have witnessed a significant fiscal drag, the final months of the fiscal year are expected to face additional revenue challenges, as the legislative changes enacted last year continue to impact the revenue stream. Goodbye, thank you, and please check out the next monthly video memo in early March.